The health department records less than 3,000 new cases in the country, but cautions against too much complacency. Amid the excitement of looser restrictions, the PNP logs over 9,000 violations on the first day of Alert Level 2 in Metro Manila. President Rodrigo Duterte says political dynasties are not bad if the people clamoring for it. Vice President Lenny Robredo says vaccinations should be incentivized instead of mandatory. And Toyota GAZOO Racing VIOS Cup concludes this year's season with an action-packed weekend for leg 3 of the races. Focused and fearless. Here's everything you need to know to jumpstart your Sunday. I'm Riza Diaz. The health department reported over 2,600 new COVID-19 cases yesterday. This brought the country's total caseload to 2,800,000, some 34,800 of which are still considered active. At least 154 more patients were confirmed dead due to the virus in the past 24 hours, pushing the death toll to 44,200. Now, the total number of recoveries, meanwhile, has reached 2,721,000, with 5,100 new survivors logged today. Out of some 48,200 individuals recently tested for COVID-19, 5.6% yielded positive results. The DOH projects that the number of COVID-19 patients in the country may go down to around 22,000 by mid-November. In yesterday's Laging Handa briefing, Undersecretary Maria Rosario Rejeres said, if the country is able to either sustain or improve its current situation, there could be lower cases. But health officials caution the country's active cases may also double if compliance to health protocols worsens or if the detection to isolation period stretches longer. Berjera explained that the projections are based on mobility, public compliance to health protocols, and health systems capacity.
Kung tayo po ay makakapag-improve ng ating sitwasyon, we can go as low as 22,000 active cases for the whole Philippines by the end of November 15.
Over 9,400 individuals were apprehended after violating protocols during the first day of Alert Level 2 in Metro Manila. PNP Chief Guillermo Eleazar said that 10% of the reported violations are curfew-related. This is lower than the 24% recorded during the implementation of Alert Level 3 in NCR. Eleazar attributed this to the lifting of general curfew, as this is only applied to minors in some LGUs in the region. The top cop also said that they will continue to be strict in implementing health protocols.
Gaya na inaasahan natin, talagang maraming tayong mga kababayan na lumabas dahil nga mas marami na ngayong establishmento ang open at yung kapasidad, itong seating and venue capacity ay tinaasa na rin. Nag-iisip tayo in so far as implementation nito mga health protocols pag sila ay nasa labas.
Around 200 public utility vehicles were caught not observing the allowed 70% seating capacity for public transportation during the first day of its implementation. IACT Chief Manuel Gonzalez said that many buses, jeeps, and UV Express vans were overboarding and going beyond the 70% maximum capacity for PUVs. Gonzalez adds that those who were apprehended were only given a warning.
Karamihan dito, punuan po talaga. Iba pa nga ang may mga nakatayo na nakita ng mga enforcer natin na mahigit natin ipinagbabawal simula nung pinayagan ng public transport sa lansangan. Ang nahuli po natin during that first day at saka second day ay yung violation, common violation sa seatbelt po, no?
We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. President Duterte has inaugurated big projects in Siargao yesterday, including a sports and tourism complex and 3 bridges. But he says don't thank him. Thank the laborers who helped build the sites. The projects are a part of Duterte's Build, Build, Build program and cost over 1 billion pesos overall. The 6.3-hectare complex houses various sports facilities and dormitories, which may be used to train athletes. Meanwhile, the 3-point bridge connects villages in General Luna. According to Duterte, he only had a minor role in the realization of the sites, saying he only signed the papers. He added that him getting credit is just all part of political games.
Inyo ni ayaw kayo mo pasalamat sa ako kay gamay raman ako ang rin usap raman ka pirma, but the bulk of the human toil ang katong mga tao nga gasimento gabuhat aning inyong building, sila mo'y atong pasalamatan. Kami kuan lang may political environment, dua lang.
In the same event, President Duterte also maintained that political dynasties are not necessarily bad. In a speech yesterday, Duterte said that unless the constitution will be changed, political dynasties are here to stay. As he defended political dynasties, Duterte also said that the Filipino people are the ones calling for his children to replace him.
Pero kanang among pagkadaghan po kanang dynasty issue, it's contrary to human behavior. Wala mo sugot ng ang mga tao mampod mo inuni mo pagmili na mo glaen kay tiguang na ko mo ingon naman po sila na iusan mo ka Duterte.
Vice President Robredo promised Negrense farmers that their livelihood will be among her top concerns if elected president in 2022. On her second day in Negros Occidental, Robredo said that since 2016, her office had been helping farmers and fisherfolk, giving them sustainable aid to build their businesses. Meanwhile, the vice president maintained that she is not keen on mandatory vaccinations. She said that inoculating the public against COVID-19 is very important, but that it would be better to incentivize vaccinations rather than penalize those who are hesitant to receive the jabs.
Tingin ko hindi effective na way yung paparusahan mo o ifa-fine mo o hindi mo bibigyan ng pagkakataon. Nakita naman namin sa mga programs namin na when you give incentives, yung mga tao naman pumapayag ng kusang loob. And I think it's the more effective way.
Robredo's comments comes as the government eyes to implement mandatory vaccination nationwide to increase inoculations outside Metro Manila. Greg Gregorio with a story.
Government is now mulling making vaccination mandatory. Vaccines Sir Carlito Gavas said they are now recommending this to the president.
We have to implore yung massive vaccination. We are recommending it, and also the private sector is also with us.
The move has been gaining support among Filipinos.
May layo tayo sa mga sakit nga para maproteksyonan ng mga katawan natin.
Mas okay siya dahil sa chance chances na maging immune ka sa sakit na yan is getting higher.
Importante yon sir kasi para masigurado natin na ligtas yung kami na mga nagsiserve sa kanila.
Even the health department, which pushed back in the past, is now supporting mandatory vaccination.
Kailangan we will reach that certain protection across the population, no? Yung tinatawag na herd immunity o yung population protection. Dito po pumasok yung pag-uusap tungkol sa mandatory vaccination.
But should it be made mandatory, the DOH clarifies it will only be for vulnerable senior citizens and those working in face-to-face settings. But the mandate will require a law. That's why the Justice Department is now studying how to make possible. Vaccination remains slow outside NCR, which has inoculated 88% of its population. Regions like Barm, Bicol, Socsargen, Mimaropa, and the Zamboanga Peninsula are lagging behind.
Dapat ready yung ating mga areas to receive some of the vaccine. Now we are giving targets para maka-achieve ng at least 1 million to 1.5 million per day.
The DOH plans to conduct a 3-day national vaccination program by the end of the month.
We are going to expand vaccination sites. Maglalagay po tayo sa mga department stores, sa mga common areas. Maglalagay din po tayo sa iba't ibang mga lugar kung saan patuloy na pumupunta ang mga tao. We are also enjoining and we have already coordinated with the different medical societies para matulungan po tayo dito.
Operational guidelines are being ironed out, while LGUs, private sector, and NGOs have also been met for the planned mass vaccination. For News 5, Greg Gregorio, we are One News.
The Toyota GAZOO Racing VIOS Cup concludes this year's season with an action-packed weekend for leg 3 of the races. Veteran, rookie, and celebrity racers gathered at the Clark International Speedway on a Saturday for the third and final leg of the competition. The leg proved to be this season's climax with thrilling developments as several races went to the distance to declare the champions.
For this season, it's actually everyone's, it's anyone's luck. Like I said, my number is 66, and it means double luck in Chinese. So that's why I put that there, because it was my first year to race, and I started from the bottom in terms of the time. I just kept on going practicing. Of course, with a little bit of luck, thank you to God, I won first place.
Organizers, meanwhile, said that the event exceeded expectations as many were thrilled with the return of the racing amid the pandemic. For them, this year's Toyota GAZOO Racing VIOS Cup is a stepping stone for even better legs in the coming years.
I'm confident that next year and the years after that are going to be so much better because that's the spirit of Toyota GAZOO Racing. It's pushing the limits for better, and we are going to use the learnings that we have gained from this event and apply those learnings to improve our future legs of Toyota GAZOO Racing VIOS Cup.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later again at 9 in the morning as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.